Okay, everyone, we
You
are.
should show them these videos, Mac, and to show them how good the products are, and then
Yeah,
you
I
would sell
wish it was
big.
that cool. I wish it was that. It was that viral.
Okay, what did you want to say, Mac, before we start the? You said you wanted to talk about the ride quickly.
Did you start? Did we
Yeah,
start? Are
we're
we live?
streaming. We're streaming.
Hey, welcome. All right, cool. Before we begin, I do want to emphasize there's two things. There are two very important aspects to take into consideration. First things first. Actually, we're gonna start with the second thing, and it's that they use a conservative dialogue wheel. It's the conservative dialogue wheel. It's like a video game. You know, like Bethesda games or like Skyrim or like Elder Scrolls games. You know what I'm saying? There's like a wheel of options you can choose. And when you pick one, it leads to the next segment of the talking points. And then you pick another one, it leads to the next segment. And that's kind of how their arguments go. Now, the first thing you have to understand is that they're not using facts and evidence. They will disguise their arguments with facts and evidence. They will misconstrue facts or evidence to provide themselves with more ammunition. But evidence and facts are not important to these people because their worldview is based on belief.
That's very
It's a
true.
belief system. It's
That's
faith
very
based.
true.
In the same way that there is no evidence in this world that exists that I could provide to either of you to disprove God. It's impossible because you believe. It's a faith based, it's religion. But that's what their political views are. That's what their worldviews are. It's basically a religion. It's belief based. So whenever you provide evidence and facts in the face of these values, they mean nothing. They don't have weight. That's I do want to start with that. Now, pay attention to every single argument Mehdi has with these people. How does he approach these arguments? He'll let them talk. He offers his premise. Here's the argument. Here's something I'm saying. You choose to refute it or not. And then they begin. And every single time they begin, he'll stop them after a few, you know what I'm saying? After a couple sentences. And he'll ask them, explain that. Unpack that. Break that down for me. What do you mean by that? Now, what happens? Every single time, the argument falls apart because these arguments aren't based on logic or facts or
Yeah,
evidence.
and they start attacking him like directly, and he's
Well, of
like,
course,
"I'm not attacking you. Like, I'm
ad
speaking
ad,
facts.
ad
Talk to
hominem
me
is
facts."
it's a last resort. They're going to the conservative dialogue wheel works like this. I make it. We talk about something, right? Immigration. Okay, I say, yeah, immigrants are bad for the country, and then but I don't stop there, do I? No. Then it leads into, in fact, gay people are bad for the country too. In fact, we shouldn't have given black people the right to vote. In fact, women shouldn't even have the right to vote either. See how I did that? And now you, as the leftist, or quote unquote debater, have to then attack what I've just said. But I haven't said one thing. I've said five things. And so now you're so wrapped up in trying to even start somewhere, I get to bounce around to wherever I want to. Now, Mehdi does it. Remember what I said? He does a good job of isolating one of the things they say, asking them to unpack it, because as soon as they start to unpack it, once they have to be reasonable or logical or human, they realize, oh, this argument doesn't actually make sense. And what happens? How do we know they lose? Everyone's flags go up. As soon as one of these people have to be logical or reasonable, all the flags go up
Yeah,
because that's not a part of the dialogue tree. The dialogue tree isn't reasonable or logical. It's meant to inflame. Remember that a political win for some of these people is to trigger the libs. Oh, you're triggered. We got him. You know what I'm saying? Haha. Like that's how they view a dub, a political W, is just triggering the libs. Like that's a genuine political motivation for some of these people. So like, just pay attention to how this argument goes. I've read a lot of the comments, and a lot of people are like, oh, well, he's just stopping them from talking. It's like he's not. He's actually asking them to explain their points. They just can't because
yeah,
the points aren't supposed to be explained. They're supposed to just be steamrolled over. Go watch Ben Shapiro in a high school. Go watch Ben Shapiro in college. Go watch Steven Crowder in a college. Go watch Matt Walsh in a college somewhere. What do? They spin the conservative dialogue wheel and they keep it spinning, and they either trigger some liberal student, or they get caught up arguing about 15 different points and browbeating the other guy, or they get caught up in a point and they have to acknowledge that they are human beings. It's like, oh, so you're okay with killing police officers? You're okay with stomping on their heads? And the guy has to be like, well, no, I mean, I wouldn't. Well, and it's like either you do, brother, do you or do you not? But they can't because they
Are
in
you
their own
okay
heads.
with
Remember,
killing
it's
Gaza
not
children?
about.
Well, hear me out. Well, are you okay with killing 17,000 Gaza children who didn't do anything to you? Well,
He's like,
let me hear
he's
you
like,
hear me
what
out.
if?
Let me just continue my argument. Like, yes or no, man.
He's like,
Yeah.
what if they're wearing vests? I'm like, what? What is this stupid argument?
No. Like, I think
This is what
everyone Mehdi was arguing with, just maybe a couple of them had actual facts that they wanted to portray how they
No,
didn't do
there
a good
was
job
good
at it.
takes. I'll give it.
There
to
was
them.
some good takes,
Yeah.
but like for the most part, they were purely talking out of emotions rather than actual facts, and they would even spin on him, like saying stuff that he didn't. There was this one guy, he's like, "But you inferred that early on." I'm like, "I
Yeah.
didn't say that."
Oh, he's like,
Because-
what? You're pro euthanasia? I was like, where did he say that?
Like, where did I say that?
They
He's
have
like,
to
"I've seen your
create-
shows. You said that." I'm like, "I didn't say that."
This is actually a very important point what you just brought up. There's this it's called straw manning. It's when I create
Yeah,
an
straw
argument
man
that you don't
fallacy.
actually
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
And I pretend that that's your stance. And so when I rail against it, I sound very morally just, but that's not what you believe at all. Now, this is important in America especially, because in America what are the two political sides? Conservatives and liberals. But conservatives and liberals are both conservatives. Only in America do we think of liberals as leftists. They're not. They're literally on the right side of the political spectrum. They are literally center right. And so when you have these aren't opposing ideologies. When they're creating straw men for Mehdi, they're creating liberal stancing straw men for their far right stances. But when you actually hold them against a progressive like Mehdi Hasan, like it doesn't work out. You can't. The arguments don't hold weight, which is why they always go, "Oh, well, you support this," and he goes, "Actually, I don't." Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah.
You
Actually,
think Donald Trump is pro-crime? Well, Joe Biden's pro-crime. You support Joe Biden. Actually, I don't. I don't support Joe Biden. No, I don't.
Actually,
and
that
now their
was-
argument
that-
has no weight.
actually, that was I agree, but actually, that was kind of like my critique of the topics that Mehdi chose, since he made it like all about Donald Trump. Like, I get it. Because he was debating far right people, he wanted to show them that their side is wrong. But the whole idea is that all presidents did bad things, and all
Also-
presidents killed people, and all
Yes.
presidents defied stuff, and all presidents
Yes.
cut corners. So this was my critique of the Mahdi's part, which is a small critique, obviously, because I'm more on his side.
But he also said it like, "I'm not gonna sit here and debate with people that agree with me."
Yeah.
So he
But-
chose something that he knew these people would disagree with.
Also, but you should also understand that before Mehdi even got into this, he as someone who's been doing this for a long time, he understands that when you're debating people like this, you can't change their mind. That can't even be your
Oh yeah,
goal.
totally.
It can't even be your goal. Instead, the
Yeah.
whole point of him going there and doing this televised debate
For
is
the
so
people
it's
watching.
recorded.
Yeah.
Exactly. Debates like this are all performance. That's the point of them, is to be a performance. It's for us to talk about and to watch and to discuss. He has zero intention of convincing any of these people of anything. Even when
And you
he
can't.
actively
You can't.
proves them wrong. Exactly. Even when he actively sits there and is like, "Okay, so you're wrong." They don't have to acknowledge it. They can't or they won't. They either are
The only thing they
maliciously
did acknowledge at the end, in like the end credits scene,
Mm.
is like saying, "Yeah, I have a lot of respect for him for the way that he debates," and that's the only thing that they actually acknowledge, which is good. At least they acknowledge that. No.
It's just being civil. Nothing
Whatever.
changed though. They're gonna go. They went as soon as this was over. They all went back to their online their online sections, and ramped it back up.
Oh yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
changed.
There was this the guy from The Economy, like he was on all over the internet. He's like, I cooked him, I beat him. I like, no, you didn't. No,
Yeah,
you
brother,
gave
we
like
watched
false information, and he was about to cry. If you probably noticed, the guy with the baseball hat, he was like crying when he was trying. He was. This is what we call in the Middle East. He memorized, but he didn't understand.
Yes.
That was he was just reciting what he memorized. He didn't know what he was
But
talking
that's-
about.
What was the name of the show?
Surrounded.
Surrounded.
Jubilee
I like
is
that
it.
they do fact checks on the side. Like, it's the first time I see anything from their show. I really like how they put fact checks on the side every time Mehdi
Yeah.
said something.
That's actually
There was
very
there was
important.
this one guy at the beginning of the episode. Mahdi was saying something that was like a general information from some journal, and the guy was like, "Well, who wrote it? Well, who wrote it?" And he's like, "I don't know off the top of my head, but like it's a verified source." Like, "Oh, okay, you don't know that it's not a verified source." Like,
Yeah, it was
man,
the
he
it
gave
was
you like 170 verified quotes throughout the whole show. Like, what are you talking about? How's that you disputing his argument and just like shutting him down by saying, "Oh, you don't know who the author is"? Like, I don't know who the fuck the author is.
you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to know the author.
Again, his point of doing that is to make Mehdi's source seem uncredible. So now
When in fact
his
their sources are so uncredible. Like, they have no sources. They have
they
no
have no
sources.
sources. Exactly. But that's the thing. They have no sources. It's belief based. You have sources, evidence based. How can I make your opinion weigh the same as mine? Tell you that your sources don't mean anything either. And so now the fact that you have sources means nothing. It means the same as me not having sources. Now we're just both giving our opinions in your worldview. But the reality is that I'm actually providing you with factual evidence
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
sources of that. And you're like, no, I don't believe it though. Who cares what you believe? What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Yeah, this guy is these guys right here. Again, the dialogue wheel. The reason it exists
I
is
am
because a
Native
lot of the
American. Whites are
discourse and
Native
the dialogue.
Americans. What are you
Sorry.
talking about?
You're not.
It's
Saying
not
that
quiet part out
It's
loud
not about
or
that.
doing
It's about
dialogue.
tribe.
Half of what these guys are talking about is like white supremacy stuff, great replacement theory, white
White
supremacy.
genocide.
Also, it's
whole-
yeah, white genocide. Like, it's so crazy how many of them were like actually clapping when all this stuff was coming up. It's like, you're on TV, man. Like, this is recorded. Everyone who knows you is gonna see that. Everyone who doesn't know you is gonna see this, and you're supporting fascism like on live TV.
They don't even know what it is, but they think they do.
Warfare.
This guy
That's where we're at in the U.S. I don't know where
He
you're
did
at
a
in the
good
UK.
job.
You're from
He really
India,
did a
so
good job
I don't
with
know.
that.
I'm not from India.
Oh, sorry, your parents are from India, so
I'm an American
you
I
have
like
your
the
own
guy
state.
I'm
with
an
the
American,
mustache.
you know.
and
You're an
the
American
hat.
citizen? Okay,
I just
fair
like the
enough. I don't know
style.
how you got that, but
He's
fair
an
enough.
idiot, but I
Here's
like
the
the
thing.
style.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's the
Not
thing.
sure how you got that. But okay.
Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the
You
1500s,
guys
so I
frozen?
have some stake in the
Okay.
claim here. Okay,
Lied.
Sure.
a little
He's not
different.
from the
You're a descendant of
1500s.
immigrants.
First long time
Settlers.
colonies,
No.
Colonialists.
1607.
Yes.
You don't
so-
look,
yes,
you don't
yeah.
look very Native American to me.
He's 100 years
I
old.
am Native American. Whites
not.
are Native Americans. What are you
Sorry.
talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about?
You're not.
Whites are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
What was happening?
Whites are Native
Is
American.
this the same guy who goes
big
like, "Oh,
coat.
okay, I don't know how you got your citizenship," and then Matty goes like, "Oh, I don't know how you got your citizenship."
Yeah.
Is it the same guy?
Yeah.
He's an idiot.
Yeah. Anytime you hear people say like, "Oh yeah, whites are Native Americans," it's major cope. This is maximum cope. You have reached deep into the wells of I'm not happy with the way things are, and you are coping as hard as possible.
And according to this logic, if because they've been here a long time, they came at the same time as black people. So according to this logic, black people are also Native American.
But
Do you
black
accept?
people aren't people to them, so no, they're not.
What do
I
y'all
found the
think?
guy.
What do y'all
The
think?
guy who. Yeah,
what
sorry.
do y'all
go ahead.
think of having a gay person across? He didn't speak, but that was
Yeah,
interesting.
of course he didn't speak. He would have got mowed down. There were actually a few people who went to this specific surrounded and didn't
speak.
say a
Yeah,
word.
the curly hair.
And it's for the best because
Yeah.
they all these people do is they go online, they type, they hear one of their far right sources say a phrase or say a quote or say a line, and they go, "Oh, I like that," and then they say it in their podcast and say it in their phone calls or say it in their friend groups, and then type it online 20,000 times. And so then when they're given a platform, of course they can just say it out in a perfect spiel like it's been planned. It is planned. It's scripted. They learned it from somebody and they've typed it 100 times, and now they're saying it out loud. But just like you said, they've memorized it. They don't understand what they're saying. They're just saying it. As soon as you press them to explain any part of it, it falls apart in their hands because they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
100%. 100%. They really seemed very uneducated and like so unprepared to go on this show, even though it should have been the exact opposite. Like, Mehdi was very obviously very prepared, like from
He's a
A to
journalist.
Z. He had all the facts, he had everything in his mind. Like, besides anything that he probably already knew from his own readings, his own research, he had everything prepared. Like, he probably even knew what they were gonna say to him. He's so used to debating. He knew what they were gonna say to him, and he had the rebuttals back just ready to go out.
Yeah.
Which was very impressive. Like, really, I was very impressed by him. I've seen like a couple of his stuff before, once on Piers Morgan, another one was another interview, and I know he's a journalist, like he does the news and so at some points. But like seeing him in that debate, it was pretty cool.
The if you watch the Surrounded with Sam Cedar and the one with Hassan, it's the exact same situation. And you said it's almost like he knew what they were going to say. He does.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they are using the same script as Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens and Steven Crowder and Matt Wall. It's the same exact script. It's literally handed down through Twitter and through X and through all the other nonsense. Like, it's handed down.
I think
the same
one guy
talking
I
points.
found so crazy was the son of the immigrants coming out to speak against immigrants. And I'm like, what the
Exactly.
actual hell, man? Like, how
I-
are you saying this when it's your second
bring up
generation immigrant?
Yeah.
Wait,
Bring
is
up the
it-
video. Bring up the girl, the blonde girl who went up
Oh,
there, and she's like,
she's the daughter of
"Oh, well, my
immigrants.
family's immigrants. Oh, but not the bad kind or whatever." Like, bro, what are you talking about?
But no, like I think Mehdi should have focused more on the, like they didn't let him, but he did mention it how it's not.
They don't
really,
let him because they have no argument.
No, let me finish, because it's not about immigration. It's about the color of the skin, right?
Exactly.
Like and this happened when Zohran won the mayorship in New York. Like
he hasn't even won yet.
he hasn't even won, but like Charlie Kirk went on the social media and was like, "We should even stop legal immigration." So this was where the turning point was clear. It's not about illegal or legal. It's just that you don't want people who don't look like you to be here. So
And it
they
never
just
was.
use it as just a weapon to attack people.
So
Yeah. The
there's
best fact that Mehdi said was at some point he was arguing with someone and he goes like, so you think the 15% of the US who are immigrants are the ones that are going to affect everything that is happening in the US? Like 15% of the population is going to have the greater effect on the population. And that really hit hard. It's like, yeah, you're absolutely right, man. Like they're worried about the 15% of this country.
but they
I
ha-
didn't
they
even
have to
realize it
create-
was that low. I thought it was more than that.
It's always been that low.
I didn't realize. He said 15%. I was like, damn, like that's nothing.
It's actually I'm pretty sure it's lower than it's been in some years actually. Right now, like it's never been a big number.
Like get those
That's why it's
immigrants
always been
out. Like really, you're worried about 15. You know what they reminded me of? You guys have seen South Park. The hillbilly that goes like, "Hey, they took our jobs. They took
Literally.
our jobs." That's how they
That's
sounded
where they
like.
get it from. That's
Yeah.
that's the joke. Is that
Do-
it's this redneck guy who's talking about some Asian guy who's a biomechanical engineer or something. This guy works on trucks, and you're worried about this biomechanical engineer.
Yeah, exactly. He
He's
took
taking
our
our jobs. You can't even describe his job
Exactly.
with your ability, let alone do it. How is he taking your job? You lack the wherewithal to understand his job, let alone do
Also,
it.
I'm sorry, but like Americans take people's jobs in the rest of the world anyway. Like you go to anywhere around the Middle East, it's mostly Americans and British. Like, please.
It's the English is the world is the economic language.
Yeah.
That's what money speaks.
Nobody's
English.
saying get these immigrants out of our country, except for the US.
Except for the Philippines. Philippines like, nah, get these white guys out of here. We're sick of this.
America.
No more Americans. Japanese are close behind them, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm digging
It's-
up the blonde girl talking so that you see it.
It's just so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing because
I was embarrassed for them, honestly. I'm like, if I was in their position and that happened, I'd be so embarrassed for myself.
because remember, they believe this stuff. What they're saying is they actually believe it.
Oh, so this chick, she provoked me so much just for a very particular reason. Is she looks so much like this Israeli journalist that I follow, and her way of, like her voice of propaganda is just so apparent in the way that she gives out the news, and she looks exactly like her. Like immediately, I was like, "Fuck you," like just when I saw her.
Let's avoid cussing so that we don't lose.
Oh, true. And
Okay.
Yeah, but okay, it's not playing for some reason. Okay, I'll stop.
think I
Can
got
someone share from their side? Because I have to deal with
Yeah.
the stream and sorry, like I can't do everything at once. So, because I have to switch screens of the streaming when I share screen. That's why. But There was this part when he was telling them, "I'm a natural." This is like a small detail that people didn't notice. He was telling them, "I'm an American. I'm a naturalized American." And the guy in the back with the baseball hat, he's like,
Put his flag up.
he's like, "No,
Not an American enough for me.
no." Oh my god.
All right. Step 1. Headphones are working better now.
And just a disclaimer: the opinions mentioned here are those of the people talking and do not represent the collective opinion. And yeah, well, let's avoid cussing.
Noted.
Where is she? Yeah. Where is she?
I really like his style of debate.
So it's
I really-
minute 45 where the blondie
Yeah.
talks. Yeah.
Sorry, I got an ad to get through. All right.
Well, Jubilee got a good deal out of this. 10 million views in 10 days.
Wow. Good for them.
Yeah.
Yoink. Can you see?
Yes.
Yes.
Claim is that immigrants overall are good for America.
Oh my
Crazy.
god.
Just watch an ad. Don't watch. Don't watch.
This ad does not support this podcast.
Yeah, don't
Just
watch.
disclaimer.
We do not condone or support or acknowledge.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, nice to meet you,
Mehdi.
Daniela. So, in regards to your claim, I just want to start by asking
You
this:
here?
do you care more about
Yeah.
helping Americans or immigrants in this claim?
Immigrants are Americans. I'm an immigrant and an American.
Well, immigrants are not Americans. Americans are the people that were born here.
All right, stop. Listen to how everything she phrases and the way she says it is a part of the dialogue wheel. The second you try to clarify anything, it all immediately falls apart. She is textbook example of how easy it is to stop one of these people from having any kind of relevant take. You're not beating them in a debate. You're just showing everyone around them how foolish you sound when you're unprepared to actually have a stance.
It's not true.
These kinds of
I'm
people,
debating
sorry,
your
just
friend.
pause for a second.
Are you talking about people that get?
These kinds of people, when they say stuff like that, I can totally see them, how they get their whatever fame you want to call it. If they're influencers and they just talk on the screen and then they post it online and they just let people debate in the comments, that's the kind of
Yes.
person she is.
That's exactly right. This is a grift.
Naturalized in the process of becoming
Yes.
American?
14th Amendment. Have you read it?
Okay, yes, I have.
Citizenship clause. It
so
says
I'm-
any persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens of the United States.
I'm aware of that.
There's
I'm
about
a-
40 to 50 million naturalized
I'm
Americans
aware
in
of
this
that.
country.
Yes, but
You didn't seem aware of it because you said Americans versus
Yeah,
immigrants.
you're not aware.
So, but are you understanding that the process of getting all these immigrants that come in here we've been also, the millions of immigrants, it's up to the millions, it's the last 20 years now, and it has dramatically affected Americans here in the country, which
Positively, I would argue.
people like me and everyone around here, we cannot find homes or even get jobs within our own fields that we go to college for, that we get into debt for. And because more blue collar work, especially in construction, agriculture and so forth, and the hospitality industry, we cannot get jobs in those fields. So it
Are
requires
you looking for a
us-
job in construction
I'm
or
not,
agriculture?
no. I went to college. Many people here are in college or went to college, but we can't even find jobs in our fields, also because of the H-1B visa program as well. But in regards to just your claim about immigrants specifically, we cannot even get jobs to pay for housing.
Unemployment is at a
accent.
record low right now, even under Donald Trump. And I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but I would say unemployment under both Biden and Trump has been at record low levels.
Okay, is this in regards for American citizens?
Yes.
Okay.
are
Well,
we
I'm
talking
unaware
about?
of that statistic. But
For
from what I
everyone,
see,
yes.
from what I
I'm an
see
immigrant
here-
and an American, and I employ
Sure.
many
And
American
my-
citizens,
and-
both naturalized and the ones born here.
And
I employ
my
Americans.
parents. No, my parents came
Americans as defined by you.
My parents came as immigrants to become naturalized, so I'm not necessarily opposed
Oh,
to
wow.
immigrants.
So you're the child of immigrants.
Correct. I'm a child of immigrants. I was
But
born
you don't
here.
accept that immigrants are Americans.
Not at this moment.
So your
because-
parents are not Americans?
Not at this moment.
So hold
no,
on, your parents are
they're
not Americans?
citizens. They became naturalized.
You just said you can't be citizens by being naturalized.
Exactly.
No, I was born here, and I'm not
Yeah,
opposed
you're born
to
here, right?
naturalization. I
But
never
are your
said that I'm
parents
against naturalization.
Are you against naturalization?
No, I never said I was against
You did.
naturalization.
You began. Everyone was here. They can play it back on YouTube. You said Americans or immigrants. Are your parents Americans or
Right.
immigrants?
No, my parents are United States citizens.
But they're immigrants.
Again, as soon as they're backed into a corner, to back one of these people into a corner, all you have to do is ask them to explain that. No, what does that mean? What about this? But you said this, and then it's not consistent. And now everyone's flags are raised because either she said something that is a quiet part out loud, or she's lost in the sauce and they want to get her out of here. It's so embarrassing. But the
Let's
one
play
that's
it till the end.
dangerous.
Let's play it till the end since you go.
She said.
Oh, it is.
No, they came here as immigrants. However, but
So they
I
are
want to make the
immigrants.
claim that we cannot
I came here as an immigrant. I'm an
But
immigrant.
at this point, when they came, the
I think
United,
that
the
people
United
aren't
States
happy with the way
economy,
this is going for you.
the United States economy was not at.
Better now. The American economy is better than it's been
Not
for
from
many
the-
years.
not from the
And I can say
statistics
that
I
as someone who
see.
doesn't
We
like
have-
Donald Trump.
We're
Which
giving
statistics are you
millions and
seeing?
billions of
There,
dollars
right
to
there.
people.
There it is,
of-
right there. Stuff like that. Well, not from the statistics that I've seen. From what I've seen, it's this, that, and the other. And then they keep going. And now you have to 30 minutes later you have to try to track back to when she said this thing. But if you stop her right then, oh really? What statistics is that? Oh well, I don't know what they are right now. Yeah, because you're just saying stuff.
You're just talking
you don't
out
know
of-
what you're talking about. You're just saying words.
Minorities as
Totally.
well as
The reason the
immigrants.
economy is doing badly now is
That
because
we
Donald
can't-
Trump's
that we're giving
tariff
it to loans.
policy.
We can't
Nothing
even
to do
get
with
businesses.
migrants. In fact, the
They can't
congressional.
even start businesses.
I'm an immigrant. I started a business. In
No,
fact,
I
in
understand
fact,
because the SBA
immigrants
is
are-
giving people
immigrants-
billions
I
of
didn't take any
loans.
loans
They're giving
from
them
SBA.
billions.
I didn't take any loans
I'm not
from
saying
SBA.
you did, but I'm
Okay, well,
saying
I'm
that
saying I did.
statistically speaking, they're giving billions of
So
loans
should we do
to these people.
statistics? According to statistics, immigrants are 80% more likely to be entrepreneurs than native-born Americans.
Sure,
They're more likely
absolutely.
to start
No,
businesses
I'm aware of
and
that.
hire Americans.
No, I'm aware of
right?
that,
Immigrants
but
are
we
more
also-
likely to pay in taxes than
Yeah.
take out in benefits.
And
They're more likely to add to innovation
but-
and jobs and wages. This is what the statistics show. The Congressional
yeah, I
Budget Office.
understand- I
Let me just finish my
understand
point and then let you come back
Okay,
in.
go
The
ahead.
Congressional Budget Office, which is bipartisan, Republicans and Democrats both use it. They have said that the immigration surge that you mentioned
Mm-hmm.
will lead to an extra $9 trillion of GDP over the next 10 years. That amounts to $65,000 per American household. That's $65,000 for each and every one of you holding up a red flag.
Okay, I
let's-
understand.
All right,
let's stop.
pause. You've been voted out by the
Can you-
majority.
can you
Please return
pause?
to your
Nice to
seat.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank God. 'Cause she
So
is just-
this is like an argument that not an argument actually, a statement that I keep seeing across first generation Americans,
what's that?
and it's the fact that look, I know I'm the child of immigrants, but it should stop. Like now that I got in and my ancestors
it.
got in, okay, we should stop now.
Yeah.
And it's very. I
Hold-
feel
hold
like
the
it's-
ladder up.
like this is what the girl said. This is what the other guy, the Catholic guy, with the beard said. Like, oh, I was with immigration when the Catholics
Yeah.
came here, but now I'm not with it.
Yeah,
anymore.
even Mehdi touches on that. He's like, at one of the points, one guy goes like, what was it? Immigration was bad. No, immigration was at an all-time high at the time, and it should stop now. And then Mehdi goes like, every generation says the exact same thing. Like
Yeah.
immigration is at an all-time high now, and it should stop right
Yeah,
now. Now
exactly.
it's because
So-
it's because to your benefit, and you want
Exactly.
it to stop now,
So-
not the time before, even though your parents came in. It was the dude who his parents also came in, and he is against immigration.
Yeah, that's a very common point. Like as long as it suits you, so it's based on
Which
what
I
suits
find
you.
so crazy, by the way. Like, I haven't met any immigrants and children of immigrants who are against immigrants. I've personally not met them, but as well, like, I don't hang out with people with that kind of mentality. But apparently there are people.
I know a few actually. I know
No,
some.
I mean, I see it on TikTok. Like they're saying, like literally someone who's here illegally. He was like, no, we should stop bringing people in. Like, bro,
You know,
you're
guys, like
illegal.
this-
What are you talking about?
Guys, there's literally people in the rest of the world who have nothing to do with the U.S. who I've met have told me, like, yeah, the immigrants should get out of the U.S. I'm like, why do you care? Like, you don't even live here. Like, why do you care? It's like, yeah, Trump is right. The immigrants should get out of the country. Why do you care? Oh, the hair is out. The hair is out.
There. I've done it now. Now I'm out and about, and now it looks
Yeah,
bad.
let those curlies out. Let those curlies breathe.
Oh yeah. I think the most dangerous part is the
Fascist?
fascist guy.
Fascist
I
guy?
do want to talk about that idiot.
Actually, no.
I am-
Like this guy, at least he was prepared, and he can't. I don't want to say he was. Obviously, he wasn't right, but he knew what he was talking about. He had his points clear. He had his logic
Yeah.
clear. He was actually trying to make a point. So
He had his Nazi propaganda ready. But the issue with that is, again, it's like the have you heard the story about like the guy at the bartender? His guy's at a bar, and this other guy like walks in and sits down next to him, and he's like talking to him, the bartender, and the bartender gets mad at him. He's like, "Hey man, get out of here!" And the guy looks over at the other guy who just came in, and he's like, "Hey, why'd you kick that guy out?" He's like, "He didn't see his stuff on his jacket, but he had a bunch of Nazi like symbols all over his jacket." And the guy was like, "Oh wow, I didn't even know." He was being really nice, and he goes, "That's how they do it." He's like, "I worked in a few bars." He's like, "That's how the Nazis move in." He's like, "One guy will come in, he'll be well dressed, well groomed, and real polite, real cordial with everyone." And you'll think, all right, well, you know what I'm saying? Eventually he'll let it slip. He's a white supremacist or whatever, but he's in here full of everybody else, so he's not a big deal. And then he brings his buddy. And then before you know it, they bring all their friends. Now you have a Nazi bar. And he's like, and the way they immigrate, now the way the white supremacist ideology moves into common places is because you'll have someone who's cordial and friendly and well-spoken and well-dressed, and they'll go in and they'll start talking, and they start saying all the quiet parts out loud. But understand that initially, they don't say the quiet part out loud. They have to use these dog whistles. Mehdi forces him to admit that he's a fascist. He doesn't actively come out and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm a white supremacist, I'm a fascist, I'm a Nazi, I support autocracy." He forces him to come out and come across all that because you're not supposed to say it out loud. They understand that the position is unpopular. They understand that it's frowned upon to have this belief system. But if they can sneak it through, and you know what I'm saying, that they do the dog whistles, the quiet hard part, like that's the trick, that's the method of delivering this spiel. And again, the best way to stomp on it is to be like, "Oh wait, you're a fascist," and they have to go, "I mean, yeah, I am. Yeah, I am." Okay,
I'm looking up what autocracy means. I know they mentioned it a lot throughout the episode.
So like one person is in control of everything.
They give one person the reins.
There is no separation of the branches of the government.
Right.
Which is, by the way, in our faith, it's allowed as an exception if the person is like, if the prophet like is in charge.
Yeah,
So if Jesus comes back, you wouldn't be against an autocracy of him in charge. But this is the exception. It's not the rule.
But we're not living in an autocracy now because, you know, there's the president, there's the House, there's the Senate, there's
and there's 600 million guns in this country, so they better not. It's America, baby.
It's Trump's land.
Yeah, you will get shot over some fascist nonsense. My grandpappy killed Nazis. I am honor bound to uphold that tradition. Please do not force my hand.
So yeah, there was this part. What do y'all think when he told him get the hell out? Like he clearly lost his argument. Yeah.
He didn't have any other stance to make, and he knew that the best way to remember what did I say? A political view to them, a political W is triggering the libs. If I'm losing this argument against this brown guy, let me say something racist to him right quick, and if he gets mad at me, I win.
Yeah,
but you don't. You win because he's not mad at you. You just look stupid. And now everyone else is looking at you like, okay, flags up, bro.
I really like the dude who came up at the end and he was giving the claim of the birthright citizenship. I feel like that is something Mehdi did not really want to. I don't know if he was tired by the end of it but I felt like he really did not want to argue that point, but he just did it for the sake of the views. But I did like the way the guy debated. At least he had something to say and he had something to stand for. And that is something that,
What do you think of who do you think was the star of the show? Because even the Iranian guy with the way he was dressing, the guy with the mustache, he got a lot of stuff.
I loved his outfit.
He had that.
I loved his style.
You loved it? It's funny or it's...
People on Twitter, like they like, oh, I go to school with this guy. He's always trying to debate people, like trying to hold them, like catch them outside of class and like debate them or whatever.
I have no doubt every single person who was there like grew up just trying to debate people all the time, whether they're right or wrong. They just grew up. They're the kind of person who just debates you about anything.
They said that dude wears that outfit every day to school.
Oh
they
my
said he wears that exact same fit every day, every class.
When he was trying to justify the killing of children, I was like, so we have a saying in our country, he's an embassy's he's a Shia embassy. He belongs to the embassies. Like he's
cool with it.
He supports the Western people, whatever they do, no matter what they do, whoever they kill, like because he wants to keep his boss happy and get paid. So
at some point, Mehdi was going like, well, Trump said he wanted to ethnically cleanse Gaza. Do you agree with that? And someone was like, well, ethnically cleansing them doesn't mean that you're removing them. It's like, that is exactly what it means, guys.
Literally what it means.
That is exactly, it's either killing them or like removing them out of the country and not letting them come back. Like, that is exactly what it means. And they go like, Trump didn't say that. When did he say it? Like, he literally said it so many times on live television. Like, what are you talking about? He's open about it.
He is open about it.
And then go like, oh, when did he say that? Like, did you even research anything before you got on the show?
No, and they don't want to. They research their talking points. They go over and practice their script and then come on here and they're like, listen to how confident this guy is when he gets on this stage. He's so confident. He's so sure of his speech. Look how he starts. It's scripted. It's like an actor getting ready to do a monologue because they're expected to be doing a monologue. They're not expecting to be stopped.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Mehdi, pleasure to meet you.
So I would say that with Trump being anti-constitution, I don't really care, to be quite frankly.
Okay.
Because in regards to the Constitution is a document that should seek to serve us.
Yes.
And when it fails to seek to serve us, that can be amended. Laws can be changed. And quite frankly, the fact is, we're defending things in this country that shouldn't be defended. The First Amendment should not defend pornography and making children and women be victimized. Making women and children be victimized as a result of that. I think things like blasphemy shouldn't be allowed per the First Amendment. I think that, quite frankly, there are a lot of legal processes that are enabling criminals and bad people to fully enact their will in this country in the name of
It almost sounds good, right? It almost sounds like, oh, what are you saying? He has some valid points.
No, actually, I agree with some of the things he said.
No, you
about
don't.
Pornography.
No, you don't.
No, pornography.
Because the reality is, what he's really saying, no, actually, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Finish what you're about to say.
No, I agree. Pornography shouldn't be legal.
Why not?
What he does is he says, remember what I just talked about. They'll come in, they say really polite, cordial, respectful things, but then they actually start to say what they really mean. What he says right here is, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't think women should be objectified. I think pornography is dangerous to women and potentially even children. We should protect those people, and that's like something that enables that. It's what he's saying. What he's really saying is
what?
I want to pick and choose what parts of the Constitution I follow that benefit my belief system. Here's some really tame ones I think you'll agree with, so then now you agree with me, I can say the really hard stuff, and you either have to backtrack and be wrong, or you have to follow through with me.
No, but actually, Mehdi agrees with like the general, I guess, vibe of what he's saying, which is that the Constitution is trying to serve us. But what Mehdi does is that he doesn't fall into the trap that you are talking about. He just moving through the obstacles that he's putting until he reached what he's trying to say. But
because Mehdi already knows what this guy's really about to say.
But that's the whole thing. How important it is to look at the intent of whatever the person is saying. I guess it is important, but I usually like to give someone the benefit of the doubt, and then you can call them out if you know their history. This is very common in Lebanon, for example. They say, "Oh, we do not want these specific people to get citizenship because we want them to stay at their country. Otherwise, they will leave their country and they will not be able to come back." But that's not why they want them to not have citizenship. They don't want them to have citizenship because they are from a specific religion, that they don't want the numbers to go up. So when they make that argument, I'm saying them, this is a hypocritical argument because you're only saying that because that's not the reason. You're just lying about the reason that you're saying that. But here, because I don't know the guy, I probably think I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. But obviously, it just goes south really quickly later.
It goes south because he has to express what he really means, and you find out that giving him the benefit of the doubt is what he was expecting you to do.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole point.
But you really think giving someone the benefit of the doubt is like a bad strategy here?
Remember the bar story.
I know.
The one Nazi who's really polite and cordial, and if you just talk to this one guy, you wouldn't even know he's a white supremacist. You'd be like, oh yeah, he was actually really cool. But he has swastikas on his jacket. And 3 weeks later, now there's 3 Nazis in here, and they don't want you to sit at their table.
Yeah, because once you see the swastika, you know that this person's not in good faith. But
exactly. You give people the benefit of the doubt if they're operating in good faith.
Yeah. So, but if you don't know, so what do you do? That's
true.
the question. So I guess this, I mean, I cannot say he's operating in bad faith just because he's white. That would be racist.
Right. Of course not.
Yeah, because some of the guys, they did have good takes. The guy who was having a notebook with him who was ready. He was calling out the Democrats because, I mean, it was a good take, even though it wasn't relevant to the discussion. But I felt that he was arguing in good faith, which is, in the end, what you really want. But yeah.
Or following the Constitution. So, quite frankly, if Trump is anti-Constitution, good, and I think he should go further.
So this is wonderfully revealing of the modern conservative mindset. So I appreciate you spelling it out so openly. Just checking, do you support the Second Amendment?
I do.
Okay, surprise! I was shocked to hear that. I'm saying that Donald Trump is defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He's thinking of defying the 12th and 22nd Amendments. You're saying you don't care about the Constitution, but actually you do because you quite like the Second Amendment. You just don't like the bits that you disagree with. Can I just be clear on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm more than willing to amend it and include
whenever
the
it's in your
Second
favor.
Amendment. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So can Democrats do the same when they're in office?
No, absolutely not. Because
you don't
it's not
believe in
even
democracy?
It just falls apart, bro.
This is it.
No,
Instantly.
absolutely not.
And he's just like so into it. He's just answering blankly, and it's like, man, do you not see that you fell into your own trap at this point?
He doesn't.
But-
He doesn't.
but-
Exactly. This guy can't see that he's fallen into a trap because this is a belief system.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can't argue.
Because for him,
or
it makes
reason
sense.
with him.
For him, it makes sense. Yeah. It's just interesting how Mehdi was able to decipher this information slowly. This is not easy what Mehdi did here, by the way.
Well, you're absolutely right. But
Yeah.
also, he's been having this conversation with these same people for decades. now.
Not really. He doesn't allow these people on his channels and.
No, but like
He
as a
doesn't debate
journalist,
online.
you get to argue with people all the time. Like not everyone who comes at you is gonna have the same
Yeah.
opinion.
I've argued with
He's
these
argued with people like that in the past. To be able to
grew up
answer so
around
fluently.
people like this. I grew up around people who believed that there was racial evidence that black people and white people were a different species. Like, grew up around them. Their parents believed this. Like, they will sit here and tell you this is the reality, and you have to be like, hey, dog, like, that's not true at all. And they're like, yeah, my dad said, all right, well, I can't I can't prove you wrong, but you kind of have to go, you kind of have to Google it, dude. Like, you should look it up. Yeah, it's cringe.
No,
it's a
I
cringe
don't.
fest.
Absolutely not.
What do you believe in?
Autocracy.
By who?
Honestly, quite frankly,
And
anyone
this
who is in line.
is also the dumbest part. He's like, oh yeah, I want autocracy. Tell me, big dog, how do you get to an autocracy? And his argument means nothing. It's just Lego pieces thrown against a glue wall. Like, and of course, just whatever
Catholic
sticks.
teaching.
Donald Trump is not Catholic.
Of course, he's not. I completely agree,
So
and
you
that's part of
support
the problem.
Trump? You don't support Trump?
No, I don't. I didn't even vote for him. I wrote in like John Pork or someone. I
Why
can't
did
even
you-
remember.
Why did you vote if you don't believe in democracy and you want autocracy?
Well, because quite frankly, I voted.
This is
I kind
fascinating.
of voted just to
I came with this
troll a
argument,
little
but I'm
bit,
bored of my own argument. I'm much more interested in this. So
Yeah, absolutely.
How do we get to an autocracy?
I think, quite frankly, that if we are able to enact local
Who
leaders,
is the we,
or-
by the way?
I think, quite frankly, these far right conservatives sitting right around
White
me.
people?
That's quite frankly a lot, which really
Absolutely.
bothered me. It's like,
So-
just stop doing it.
Some people,
Quite
and
frankly, quite frankly, like,
when you're
man,
learning speech, when you're learning how to give speeches, like give your monologues and stuff like that, like public speaking, instead of saying you find comfort words, filler words to fill, and his is obviously, quite frankly, because he thinks it sounds smart, but it makes him sound pretentious because he's not saying anything after. What is quite
he's
frankly,
contradicting himself the whole way.
Yeah, it contradicts
I remember
himself.
that.
He's not being frank. He's being contradictory.
He's just there. He's just there for the sake of being on air.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not about arguing to
No,
prove anything. He doesn't. He's not. He just wants to get his message across.
It's like,
He's
look at me,
using
I'm
this
here, I'm talking.
platform, yes, to say the quiet parts out loud, and then when forced, he can just say the loud parts, the hard parts, and look who claps.
Actually,
you guys,
I have quite.
some of the people
I
in this
have
room don't make the cut from what I can see
actually,
visually.
Actually,
Okay.
hold on for a moment. I do think that there are people who happen to not be white who do actually have history in this.
This is BS, by the way. I've heard this 1,000 times. This is the, oh no, we're not kicking everybody out. We're gonna keep the good ones. That's what he's saying.
So
no,
the
we're
ones
gonna
who,
keep the good ones.
The ones who agree with you, basically.
Yeah, of course. No, they're not kicking Mexicans out because some people, you know what I'm saying, they could have bought in and before the Louisiana Purchase, like you can make it sound cordial and respectful and nice, but it's white supremacy talking points. It's Nazi talking points, big dog. Like,
country and have roots in this country. For instance, from the Mexican-American War, we subsumed a lot of territory of people who have far stakes in this country who happen to be Hispanic or what have you. I'm for defending the traditional demographics of this country, which is majority white.
So
and
how,
should stay that
how
way.
does the United States... I mean, we've gone so off topic, but how does the United States look like under you? Sorry, what's your name?
My name is, my name's Connor. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Took a little bit of a doubt there.
Oh, well, I use a pseudonym online.
Fair enough.
But fair enough.
How would Connor's America look? What would it look like?
Well, quite frankly, I think we would deport people who shouldn't be here.
No, I didn't ask about deporting. What does the government look like?
What does the government look like?
Yeah.
I would say, quite frankly, it's under a sort of benevolent leader, such as
Where does he
Franco.
come from?
It could be a kind of aristocratic class. Could be someone
who picks the autocrat?
Frankly, the people. I mean, we could hold a vote on it. Kings
So
were
isn't that democracy?
stupid.
Exactly.
They can't even think. He can't.
And Mehdi
even
is like asking the
think.
question. He knows exactly what the guy's gonna answer. It's not like he
Yeah.
doesn't even know. He knows exactly what he's gonna answer. This guy is awesome. I love Mehdi. He
This
is
guy
so
can't
awesome.
even
Seriously.
think about what he's about to say. He's just saying the script, and then when he says it out loud, he has to go, "Oh wait, that sucks. Oh well, I have to double down on it. Like I guess that's what I believe now. Now that I've said it out loud, that's what I believe." Like, bro,
Wait,
I
one
even
second.
have
I have
a
a
vote to
question. Can
get
you stop?
to that.
So when he says we want to keep, and this I want to ask you, like, where do they get the logic of that from? When he says I want to keep the U.S. majority white, but where in the Bible or in Catholic teaching does it say that like, where does whiteness apply to Christianity?
I'll tell you right now. If you ever hear a white supremacist talk about Catholic teachings or following Catholic versions of things, what they're really saying is Nazi shit. Unfortunately, if you look at where the Nazis went after Nazi Germany was ended, Argentina, and you look at the religions of those worlds, you'll find that there are like 2 or 3 that really hold up to what these people believe in. Remember, these people believe something and they warp their worldview to match that.
Exactly.
So Catholicism,
Also, how would you even define
Christianity?
So,
like,
but-
those are
but
fine.
there
How
is-
would you even define which white people would say like all white people are some sort of generation of immigrants? How will you define which whites stay here and like just rule over America?
Your question is extremely accurate and very important, because if you look back into the 1800s when migrants were coming here from Ireland and Scotland and Germany, they were like, "Oh wait, y'all aren't real whites. You're Italian. You're not."
What are
white,
we?
you're
What are we
Italian."
still at? Like probably 5th generation, 6th generation immigrants. Like there's not much. There's not much beyond that, right?
Right. Yeah, that's the other thing too. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, we were here since the 1500s, brother. The first permanent colony of the United States is 1607." So what are you talking about? No, you weren't actually here. Actually, your whole region of the world was in Europe somewhere. You did not discover the United States. Your people had never.
So how
been
far
here.
do you go back to not consider them immigrants?
There it is.
No,
right
their
there.
arguments do not fall
There's no
together.
consistency.
But
There's
my,
no
my,
consistency.
my whole question is, there is no single priest, like, if they're like that Catholic, there isn't like a priest that, because it wouldn't make sense that a priest would be like lecturing on this logic on church on Sunday. Would like he would get excommunicated, I would assume.
Right.
Yeah.
Excommunicado.
Think of the pro. Like, what is a pro white supremacist pope look like? Not the pope, obviously. If the pope had to be a Nazi, how would he act? Not like a pope.
Okay.
Because their version of things isn't realistic.
So
this
you
extreme-
think these Catholics disagree with the Catholic design of the church?
these aren't Catholics? These are people who use Catholicism as a machine to get their actual goals
Interesting.
accomplished. They don't really believe that. And the same thing for Christianity. These people, they call them Christian fascists or Christian nationalists. They're not really Jesus-loving Christians. They pick and choose what they want to make sense and use it to validate their stuff. The reason they want to create a Christian national space is because they can use parts of the Bible and be like, no, we're valid. Here's our.
But where
here's
do
our
they
moral
where do they
standard."
find a pastor or a priest to say these things? Because I don't think like
They don't.
What do you mean? Like they don't go to church or something, or
They go to church and they don't talk about this stuff. They go to church and they do not say these things out loud.
I think also doesn't every church have different kinds of mentalities and
I mean,
ways of
yeah.
thinking.
Yeah, but I would
Actually,
assume
you know what? I take that back. There are some actually some really crazy racist churches. Actually, I take that back. Especially in the U.S., we actually do have a Christian nationalism. I would say epidemic in the United States when it comes to churches. We not every single one of them. Not even the majority. Actually, not
Look,
even a
I
small
understand
fraction,
with
but
like
there are some.
I understand with like Protestant churches because there is no head of church, they can get away with these things because you can just say that it's their own
But-
church.
but
But
this
with
guy- like-
Catholicism, you have to be under the Vatican. Like this is
Exactly.
you have to be that. So if you say like stupid stuff like that, the Vatican has to interfere and just declare you excommunicado. So
Or they don't claim you at all. They'd be like, yeah, they like a pope. The pope would look at this guy and go, he's not a Catholic,
okay,
and that's that.
Okay.
It's that. Boom, because you're not. But he also, this guy right here, probably if he even goes to church, he probably doesn't say these things to people.
Okay.
You think he's telling people at his job that he was a fascist? Never, not once. Because what happened as soon as he did that online and went home? He got fired. Instantly, because you can't be like, oh yeah, I'm a fascist, haha, autocracy, kick out brown people, and expect there to be no consequences. People, it's abhorrent. He understands that it's abhorrent, but now that he's pressed to say it and he's in a room full of his peers, he feels emboldened to say the quiet part out loud. But he missed the game. The game is that you don't say it out loud because people don't actually support it. You have to sneak it around. You have to trick people into being white supremacists.
I don't think this is what happened. Let me. I know what you're saying, but let me tell you my explanation of things.
My bad.
And no more votes.
So, the reason he was able to speak that comfortably is simply because Donald Trump is now president, and he gave the tools and the keys to people to just speak freely like that and like act the way they are acting, and. Because let me tell you something. I don't think he would have spoken like this if we were still like under Joe Biden or Obama or whatever. Like, because there would still be like large consequences.
You're saying like Trump gave them the confidence to actually come out of it like that?
Confidence,
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think Trump definitely emboldened white supremacists.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah,
Unfortunately so.
I don't think that Trump is this paragon of free speech because he's actively
No, he's free
working
speech.
against.
He's free speech about white supremacy.
I think he
That's it.
I don't.
emboldens.
By the way, I don't even think
It's like white
Trump-
people assemble.
I
Let's
don't
do
even,
this.
To be honest, like I'm not defending Trump. I'm just thinking
No,
how
you don't
I
have
see
to.
things. I don't think Trump like believes all this weird crap that some of the fascists were saying, but because he knows how to, he's a businessman, right? He knows how to read the room. He just say what people want to hear.
He's going to curate that power.
And that's how he became president. Like he just and look, like I give him credit that he's actually trying to do the things he promised, because a lot of politicians, they don't even do that. The moment they get elected, they just forget everything. So at least I give him credit on this. But because he knows how to read the room, he's able to just say what people want to hear. And because, like, as you mentioned,
He says what white people want to hear because he knows they're the majority in the U.S. and they're the
voter
ones that
base.
are going to vote for him. Yeah.
I mean, it's not, I don't think it's just about white people. He just do what it needs to be done to win the election, because he was talking a lot of pro crypto stuff. He was talking a lot of again, like a lot of pro white stuff, a lot of stuff that are not necessarily like in relation to race or like.
Are you saying Trump is not pro white people?
I'm just saying that he did all of this just to win the election. Like he doesn't care about all these beliefs.
I mean, he doesn't care about the people in general, but he does care about white supremacy. That's for sure. I would say so, because like all the stuff that he kept saying about like wanting to create new jobs for everyone, he was talking about his own people. He was not talking about anyone else. He wanted to create all these new factories and like bring in new jobs. He's gonna take credits for all the new jobs coming up because of the data centers.
Here's why I disagree. Here's why I disagree, because Trump is very like pro-America and America first. Like all of his policies outside
Israel first. Trump is pro-Israel.
That's all presidents, not him.
100%.
That's like
that's true.
It's not, again,
that's all U.S. presidents. No, that's valid. You're right.
when you want to criticize something, you have to make sure that the
Biden was
alternative
more pro-Israel than
So,
Trump, but
the
I'd rather not
honestly.
talk about this stuff online. Let's just
No,
sorry, you were
this
saying,
is?
Rajib?
I was saying that Trump is like very pro-America, like America first. So I feel that, look, he cares about Americans that are not white, because for example, he would want like the national team to win the Olympic Games or to win the basketball. So, but I genuinely feel that he's like pro-America, like because every time he would like go and
pro-America, pro-Americans, pro-white people, not even Americans who were nationalized, pro-white people. He is totally just pro-white people.
Nah,
he's deporting.
I'm telling you, I think he just said all these things because he's just.
But he's not just saying it; he's also acting upon it. Like he's deporting people that are even citizens who aren't white. Like he's actively deporting people even though they did nothing wrong.
Yeah, okay, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. So, white Canadians, okay, who are trying to get in by car.
Canadian walks into a bar, yeah.
They're trying to drive into the country. The immigration people, they're asking them like, "Oh, what do you think of Donald Trump?" Like they're actually trying to make sure that they are coming here like, and that they like Trump and that they like the country. You know, it's not. So they're white. That's one example. Second example, you saw this case of like J.D. Vance with the meme, the Norwegian tourist who came to the U.S. Okay, Norwegian tourist came to the U.S. and they found a meme of J.D. Vance on his phone. They kicked him out. Okay, so it's not about whiteness. I don't think it's about whiteness. It's just about him saying that because Norway is basically the most developed country in the world and they're all white.
When I say white people, I don't mean European white people. I mean just like American white people. Who are essentially Europeans, but like so many generations down.
It's white nationalism. It's not just
it's
white
totally
people,
white
it's
nationalism.
White Americans.
I can't see Trump in any different light other than advocating for white nationalism, like hardcore.
It is specific to that, and it makes people mad when they say it because they're like, "Oh no, he's not." But it's like, but he is though. But he
is though, exactly.
And again, if it's not, then why is that the people he emboldens?
Mm-hmm.
Why does this person now feel comfortable to say these things instead?
By the way, I'm not saying Trump isn't harming his own people. Like even like Mehdi said, unemployment is at an all-time low. Like within the Biden and Trump administration, he's harming even his own people who voted for him. A lot of people in the South lost their jobs now with the Trump administration being on. But that doesn't mean that he's not advocating for the white nationalist like ideology to be the prevalent system of the U.S. I'm for example, I have a green card. I am very scared about going to Lebanon at the end of the month because I don't know if they're going to let me back in because maybe like a year ago I posted some stuff about Palestine and that's because I'm brown, not because I'm, on the way for citizenship. He doesn't give a shit about me. And I have friends who are not even on green card, not even citizens, who advocate for Trump like crazy because they see him as this like inspiration that they look up to, maybe because he has money and he has all this power, even though Trump has no agenda in helping these people who are not citizens or residents in any way. His agenda is totally white nationalism. Like you can't convince me otherwise. You want to say that he's helping the economy in one way or the other. I'm not saying that. Okay, I don't advocate for Trump. I'm not for Trump. If I could vote, I wouldn't vote for him, sure. But I'm not saying like every single thing that he's doing is horrible. Like the big beautiful bill that came out, like it has some disadvantages, but it also has some advantages. He wants to, for me personally, I cared about removing taxes from overtime. Now I get my full overtime. I get $60 instead of like $45 or something. There's the giving $1,000 to each person who is born in the U.S. and that goes into a trust fund that accrues interest and like some sort of investment later on. I'm not saying like every single thing he's doing is bad, but it's all for the sake of his own people. It's not for the sake of anyone else. And he does want to remove anyone who is not of white descent from the United States, even though it is what, like Mehdi said, like it's 15% of the country. But he even changed, what was it, Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, like that entire propaganda, just like, spicing it up even on the maps and stuff.
But also understand that I say that Donald Trump is a proponent of white supremacy or white nationalism, but I see what you're saying, Raj. I see what you're saying when you're saying you don't think he's not racist. He's not running around in a Klan hood, right? But he actively emboldens those people as his base and will say what he wants to say to please those people. Whether he believes it or not becomes irrelevant because he's moving on it.
Yeah, okay, I give you that.
And he's emboldening those people. But ultimately, what Trump really is about is loyalty to him.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about an autocracy, That's the autocrat. Donald Trump is an autocrat. He likes loyalty to him. He surrounds himself with people who are loyal to him. They will not let you in the country if you have memes about the vice
You know why
president.
I kind of like, I'm again not defending him. I kind of have no problem with it. It's because where I grew up, it's like it's very normal. They just hire their own people. They put his son-in-law or his cousin here.
And it's wrong. Like where we grew up,
sucks.
Raghib, it's wrong.
I know it's
What
wrong,
they were
but
doing is
here's
wrong.
the thing: it's becoming like that everywhere. It's not just us
And
and
it's
the US.
wrong. Just because it's
sucks.
happening everywhere doesn't make it right.
No, I mean it's
still
just the
wrong.
reality of the situation. I'm not gonna spend the whole day just complaining about it. You know, like it's just.
Oh yeah, we gotta kick. Not kill him. Sorry, we gotta kick him out of office. That's the
3.5 more years, guys. 3.5 more years.
You think?
But yeah, just like you
Fingers
guys,
crossed.
like with all that, like you guys were mentioning earlier, it's because of the rhetoric that he's doing now. It's because of the narrative that he's going with now. He's giving these kinds of people the freedom to
speak like that.
speak out the way that they do. But that's the only free speech that he would not.
Actually, it's good this happens because then they show up on their true colors. You know, like they're not hiding stuff anymore. So.
Yeah, and like in
Yeah.
3.5 years, they're gonna be eaten up. Whoever comes next, like these people are gonna be eaten up whole, like for sure. But
Maybe.
it's the fact that he enabled this kind of behavior, which I don't know where it's gonna lead to at the end. You know,
That's
now
the
it
problem.
starts out as them admitting that they're fascists. Later on, they're gonna actually act upon fascism, and then we're gonna go back to Nazi.
No,
Like-
yeah, right there. Later on, in 5 years, when hundreds of thousands of Gazans are dead from starvation and being blown up, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, we were always against it. Oh, it was such a tragedy. I can't believe they did that. Oh, I can't believe that was allowed. Oh, we would never support that." Everyone's always gonna have been against it, just like everyone was against the Nazis killing a bunch of Jews. Everyone's against it. It's super wrong, right? Everyone's against it. Why did it happen? How did it happen? How was it allowed? Oh, we fought a war over it. No, the Russians fought a war over it. Actually, brother, actually the Soviet Union stopped the Nazis.
Yeah.
Soundly.
Yeah,
It was allowed. The Holocaust occurred, and America let it happen, just like America's letting it happen again, baby. Just like in 5 years, we're all gonna be like, "Oh, it was this huge thing. It should have never happened. It was so disgusting," and yet it did. We went to work. We went to school. We had love and life and everything on the
Actually,
other side of the planet.
Does anyone remember who was the guy who talked about white genocide?
Yeah, it's
on-
the green shirt guy.
Green
Oh, it's
shirt?
the
Okay,
green
I'll look
shirt
it up.
guy. He's so embarrassing.
Green shirt and his second take. He talked about it.
Oh yeah, his second one. Yeah, because he went the first time and he was like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to remain calm." Oh, you think I'm really far right? Wait till these guys talk. He didn't want to say the quiet part out loud yet. He was like, "Oh, let me just tease with some of this stuff in
He
here and see
literally,
what's
he,
on my
literally,
side."
he literally started the conversation with, what's your ethnic background?
Literally, yeah. It's a check. If someone asks you that, what are they really asking you? They're not curious about your ethnic background. They're
It's the
trying
same guy
to
we saw at the
purity
beginning,
test
right?
you.
It's the same guy we
yeah.
talked about.
He had a second take at the end.
Yeah.
He's
Okay,
got
I found it.
shark's eyes.
Yeah.
You guys want to watch that?
Yeah, let's get these guys out of here.
So- Afterwards.
Absolutely.
Just one point.
100%.
Before we,
Wow. And if that auto
Okay.
in relation to what you said, how the U.S. allowed things to happen in the Second World War, I actually saw a documentary and it was showing, like there was like a Nazi meetings
In New York.
Yeah, in New York, and it was like open and like come here. and, like,
Open.
yeah, I was like, wait, what? I didn't know that.
and televised and in the news
Manhattan. That was like
in Manhattan. And what is it? But ask yourself, where did you read about that in your American history studies from any education you've had in this place? You didn't.
I did.
You never. They've
I
never.
saw some
glossed it.
documentary. That's how I knew about
You
it.
had to see a documentary about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you had to go outside sources to get the information because they won't teach it in our American curriculum. Our education system is propaganda. You have to patriotism. The reason it's so important in the United States is because patriotism is nationalism light. It's diet nationalism. It's not dangerous and scary, but it is essential that you believe in your country, that you believe in the government, you believe, you have faith in your elected leaders. If that goes away, then the house of cards topples.
So relating
don't
this
believe.
back to our own government, Raghib, like our own government was very corrupt and we never believed in any of them. We might have believed for a little while with the new people that might have been coming out after all the protests that were happening in 2019, but they were all corrupt and I did not believe in any of them, and I still don't believe in any of them, which is why I would never
That's
go
how
back.
most governments are anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
at just different levels. Like,
I don't know.
You
Some
might
governments
argue-
seem to have a handle. Like, look at Switzerland. Switzerland has a good handle on their people.
everywhere there's
Even Germany, like Germany is corrupt, but these people, like, they're very patriotic about their country and they love their country. Look at Japan. Japan has its own issues, but they love their country. Look at China. China, like, they love their king. Is it still king in China? I don't know.
I don't think they do. I don't think they do love their guys.
Yeah, maybe not
actually.
recently.
Maybe not
Look at
China,
North Korea.
actually.
No, I'm just joking.
No, I think that's probably the best example because unironically they genuinely
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
like they're raised, their whole atmosphere, their whole environment, their whole worldview, everyone they know and everyone they've ever loved.
Hmm.
All
I mean,
believe the same
even look at Donald Trump. Like, even if this is not the best example, look at Donald Trump. They voted for him a second time because
That's correct.
you know,
Yeah, he did win the election twice, and there's
twice,
nothing.
twice.
And no matter how butthurt a progressive or liberal gets about it, you must acknowledge that America voted for him twice.
Look at Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka had their first woman,
Oh my
I think,
God.
prime minister like some years ago, and they love it. All the Sri Lankans went back to their country because they had so many more jobs. Like, there are countries out there, you know, who maybe all countries could use some amends here and there, but you know, there are some countries out there that have a good handle on what their people want, and their people are happy. Just look at Kansas City. Kansas City, oh my God, guys, I know it's not a country, but Kansas City, I went to Kansas City, and everybody is so happy there. I have no idea why.
Some cities got it like that.
Yeah.
That's how it is. What's that place? Not Fallbrook. It's in Arizona somewhere. Flagstaff, Arizona. Dude, everyone's so super cool and nice there. I was there for like 3 days. Everybody is so nice. Every
Yeah,
single
that's
person is
how
smiling
Kansas City was.
and nodding at you. I'm like, wow, this is wonderful.
No, everybody was so nice. They introduced me to Midwestern niceness, and I'm like, well, in Seattle we have the Seattle freeze, guys. Okay. Here.
Whoa. Welcome back, Richie. You
Can you
really
hear?
want to be here.
Yeah, we can hear.
First of all, I really thought that obviously where we started, where it ended up, there's a lot of aggression. I can see in your eyes there's a level of exhaustion from being here. This is where my empathy comes in. Where it doesn't is, you know, when you have a room full of people that do agree with you, we have this opportunity to come together. And you're kind of mocking people when they do. So you mocked Sarah a little bit when you guys clearly had a common interest and goal to reach. So I can tell you're agitated. I want to bring that all down, please.
Oh my
I'm
God.
guessing you're not going to, but let's see.
No,
I'm guessing you're not
I
going
do want
to.
to point out some contradictions. First and
He knows
foremost,
exactly
I don't
what they're
believe
about
you're
to say before
pro-American
they
in the
say it.
value system that you claim to uphold.
Bro took
especially
anger
free speech,
management
if you're not willing to
classes.
debate
Yeah,
people
for
that don't
real.
share your values. That's
Do
very
you believe
un-American.
Donald Trump's plan for Gaza is ethnic cleansing?
I don't believe it's ethnic cleansing,
Why
but I because it's not his plan.
It is his plan. He said it's my plan.
No, he's
Benjamin Netanyahu called it his plan.
He is obeying someone else's plan.
Okay.
I'm not.
Who is he obeying?
He is obeying Israel's plan
Okay.
for the Greater Israel Project, of which this is one of those things that we can agree on.
Why is he doing
We're
it?
not. Why is he doing that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they have something on him. Maybe they have something on all
But
Americans.
you think it's a bad thing what he's doing?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
No.
Glad
That's
to
why,
agree with
but
you.
see, I don't want to shut
I'm
down
not
the
mocking you, I'm
conversation.
agreeing with you.
Okay. Perfect. You know, but I want to take this opportunity because I don't know if I'm going to get the opportunity again to say you're not American.
Oh my
First and
God.
foremost, baby, you're not
Remember what I
American.
said?
Out.
No, yeah, he had to get it out. Like, these people, man, these people.
Again, he will say they say the polite, cordial, respectful thing. Oh yeah, no, we actually agree on that. But I'm actually racist. Haha.
Oh my.
I don't care. You're American.
Also, just like getting a bit political here, like, oh, it's not Donald Trump's plan. Like, every single president, it's not their plan. Like, it's totally their plan in
Right.
cooperation with who they're working with on these plans.
If I'm
But I'm not gonna
saying-
get
from
into
you
that.
is not going to be lower.
What I'm saying,
You claim
though-
to lower the temperature
No,
and
I
then
know,
make
but
racist
listen,
remarks. You know
it's-
that's a racist remark,
It's
right?
not racist.
You tell an
The-
American
okay,
citizen
But
who
okay,
is,
perfect. You just proved your own point.
Go on.
You just said that was a racist position.
Yes.
Earlier,
Yeah.
you argued this contention that America has no race. It's a bunch of immigrants that culminate together
Never
into
said
one.
America has no race.
You inferred it. You absolutely
Yeah, right
did.
there.
So
Like,
now you're saying it's
inferred-
racist for
but
me.
You can't. That's not a way of
But
debating.
he
Like,
didn't
you
say
can't
it.
tell someone you inferred it if they didn't actually say it. Like, what's going on in your head and what's twisting on in your head is not exactly what has been happening.
These guys
take an
he's
American
using-
nationalist approach. You're
What
kind
is
of
an American national?
What were you saying, Mac?
he's using these talking points. He's trying to use this dialogue wheel, and that a lot of that is introducing straw men and just assumed problems, but they're not. Mehdi never said that.
He never said
That's
that.
not his stance.
No,
And
it's
so
all in
for
their
him-
head.
It's exactly for him to apply that stance to him. All he has to do is say, "I didn't say that," and the guy now what does he has to do? He has to go,
Dance
okay,
around
but
it.
hypothetically,
Yeah, but
or, you know,
hypothetically,
well-
if you said that,
If you close
okay, is
that a
if you
white
close
approach?
one eye, then
I
close
think
the
Yeah,
other.
it's a white
exactly.
nativist approach of course,
So only
absolutely.
Americans are white
Why
people.
did your parents immigrate
Americans
from
are
India?
only white people.
Why did your parents immigrate from India to the UK?
Because the UK colonized and conquered India.
Okay, why did you immigrate to America?
Because many reasons.
Okay, all opportunity. There's
not
opportunity.
true. You don't know.
The accent.
not true.
Your accent is
Exactly.
is an affect of white Anglo-Saxon.
You know there are 50 million Americans in this country who are
I
immigrants.
understand, but you're
None of them are
listen-
Americans in your view.
What I'm trying to get you to do to reach a common ground here.
We're not going to
is
reach a common ground because you said
Please
I'm
try.
not American.
Please try.
I don't think you're American.
I'm saying you're
I
not.
don't think you're American.
I'm saying you're American due to value.
I think at this point Mehdi was getting very tired, and he's like, you know what, you guys are gonna be children about it. So am I. You're not American. You're not American. And
they're
he
having
kept saying that.
because all their arguments are in bad faith. They're not
Yeah.
really trying to have a genuine discussion
Totally.
or even reach common ground. The whole reaching the common ground thing is so that you stop talking so they can jack their wheel, get their wheel going. That's the whole strategy. Every single one of these people, not just these 20 people, I would name them again: Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Steven Crowder, Matt Walsh. That's their strategy. Go watch any of their debate videos. Go watch Sam Cedar argue on Jubilee in his surrounded video. It's the same thing because you're going, I'm not going to let you get away with saying all this. Let's go back to this one point. Break that down for me. Oh, actually, inconsistent. Oh, actually, I don't believe that. Now everyone wants to kick you out and bring on somebody else next, and he's going to do the same thing because these people, they don't have what is it called?
They don't have bases.
They have unfounded beliefs.
Yeah,
Their beliefs are
100%.
based on nothing but belief. It's not based on evidence or fact. You can't prove them wrong. You can't show them evidence to convince them of anything different because what they believe is what they want to believe. It's their choice to
It's
believe.
all in their head. It's all in their head.
Yes.
I think
I don't think you're
what
not American on
happened here
values
was,
either. I think you're a little
Can you
fascist.
stop for a second? Kind of like in relation to what Mike said. You said that his argument was in bad faith and all of that. I feel that no, at this point he was being genuine because that's how he actually thinks, and he did try to say that we have a common ground because they do have a common ground here. They both like don't support Israel, but. That's the turning point. That's the turning point here. Is that when he told him you're not American, it's because he genuinely thinks so. He wasn't trying to be quote unquote racist. It's because he's just saying what he genuinely thinks.
Right, but it is racist.
But yeah,
he's not
he's
trying to be
genuinely
racist,
racist.
but it is racist
Exactly.
to say that to Mehdi.
It is
It's a
racist, but
very
he doesn't
genuinely
think
racist
so.
comment.
He's like,
Totally.
oh, why aren't I American? Oh, because your parents are from India.
Like
Okay.
what?
But I'm a citizen of this country. I took the test. I'm
But
national.
did
I'm
you
a
get my
national
point? Did you get how I disagree with you?
Yeah.
Like I
But-
feel that it's not an argument in bad faith. He had good faith when he was talking that. He's just a racist person. He was just saying what he believes in.
But the bad faith comes in the fact that he's trying to get the argument to be like, oh, no, we agree about this, but actually you also should agree with me that you're not an American because of that logic.
Oh.
But like that's not sound. Not sound logic. Also, the criticism is not the same. Mehdi not liking Israel and this guy not liking Israel, two different things.
Exactly.
Mehdi doesn't like Israel because it's propagating a genocide. This guy doesn't like Israel because it's full of Jews.
Because
and
he's-
that's the big
because-
difference.
because he's
Because
anti-Semitic, yeah.
Anti-Semitic, yeah. But he's also, but again, these people are genuinely anti-Semitic in that, like any of the other Semitic religions, like Arabic or whatever, like it's not just Judaism that's Semitic, but for some reason the definition of anti-Semitic is specifically anti-Jewish behavior. So it's like, yeah, there's certain. This is why it's the quiet part out loud. They make claims, they say one thing, like, oh yeah, well we both don't support Israel. Well, no, I don't support genocide. You hate Jews. Huge difference. It's not the same actually. So now his second point being, And on top of that, I don't think you're American. Well, first of all, we actually don't agree on the first part entirely, which is why your second part is not sound logic. Let this guy keep going. But they're already trying to vote him out because he's had to say that part out loud. And so they're like, get him out of here. You're muted, Nada.
Little racisty.
See, you're using these words. Okay, first of all, I want to say this.
I'm not just throwing them at you. You didn't come sit down. I said
for every conservative that has ever been shut down by leftists like you, for every conservative, for
you're
every
not a conservative. You've already said
for every right wing,
for every
Stefan Molyneux, Thomas Sowell, Nick Fuentes, all of those people.
Is Thomas literally a Nazi?
He's Australian. But that's not the point. I'm saying people that are on our side of the aisle that get shut down by people like you because you're leveraging this position of emotion.
You're joking, right?
No, I'm not. You're leveraging the position of emotion.
My side of the aisle is trying to deport you. The only shutting down is being done by you.
They're actually trying to genocide my entire race. So what are you talking about?
You're a white genocide guy?
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
You know the fact you're.
I'm amazed that Jubilee find some of you guys. How did they find you?
Do you see?
Did they email you?
Teenagers are building businesses with AI, while the only AI you know is
that you
ChatGPT.
believe this.
Let's be real.
Do you have Gmail?
Why are you trying to oust me? This
Do you
is
shop
such a
at
cheap
Costco?
tactic.
Do you go to Nordstrom?
No,
all immigrants.
I'm trying
Have you
to-
ever been
Oh,
on
are you trying to
eBay?
oust
But I'm
You love
agreeing-
immigrants.
No, I'm agreeing.
You love immigrants when they're helping you.
I'm
you just
not,
don't like the color of
it's
my
not
skin.
we're having a different
All right,
conversation.
pause.
White genocide.
We're having a different
Pause.
conversation.
All right, you've been voted out. Please return to your seat.
Okay. I really wish we could have gotten it.
I mean, you believe in white genocide, so it's very hard to.
Jesus. And I've argued with these people. Because these are flat earthers. It's the same thing. They're flat earthers. There's no evidence I can provide to you to prove to you that the earth isn't flat because you believe the earth is flat. You believe that NASA and all the government agencies involved in any kind of science or physics are all on the same team at pulling the wool over the entire planet's eyes. You unironically believe we can control weather with machines, but don't believe in accidental climate change.
Oh, controlling weather with machines, that's real. You can make
I know,
clouds now.
people are like, oh, cloud seeding's not real. Of course it's real. Brother, you don't think that transporting trillions of tons of carbon from the ground to the atmosphere is going to have side effects on the planet, brother?
Exactly.
It's literally a greenhouse effect. We study it in other planets. We know how it works. But you don't believe it because you don't want to believe it.
Okay.
And so me providing you with any kind of evidence, or you providing me with your flimsy evidence, oh, gravity's not real. What do you mean gravity's not real? Well, if gravity was real, how would cigarette smoke rise? Huh? Well, because hot carbon is lighter than air. Your ignorance over physics does not mean that you have figured out some secret that no one else has
I've
figured
had
out.
these conversations with people more times than I would have liked in my lifetime. And every time I am amazed that there are more people who think about these matters in such ways, especially the flat earthers. I've had so many flat earth conversations. At the beginning of, when I was younger and I had the energy to debate, I would debate. And now I just listen very intriguingly. I'm like, I would very much like to know how your brain works when it comes to that stuff.
How deep is this?
Oh, but by the way, Mac, I want to ask you, the second Iranian guy, that spoke about charlotte he said something. What is it called? The Charlottesmanians? What is this? What's it called? I didn't understand. The Charlottesmanians, Marian, something like that. I don't know.
Can you put the clip on?
Yeah, can someone put the clip on when the second Iranian guy spoke? So he spoke. He spoke on the immigration question, the last one. So I feel like I want to discuss a little bit before we wrap up.
Yeah.
The people that are in the middle. They're not the extreme right. They're just like there because they're conservative. But
let me stop you right now. None of these people are in the middle.
Not middle, like in between, not in the middle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see. Relative to this group.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. None of these people are near the middle. Mehdi is unironically probably closer to the middle than any of these people. He's anti-Second Amendment, which means he's not actually a leftist. He's very likely just a liberal. If you're a real leftist, you go left enough, you get your free healthcare and you get your guns.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? But if you're center left, that totalitarianism's still in there. They want to take the guns away. An armed populace is a dangerous populace. And a defended populace. A safe populace. I'm pro-gun, by the way. I'm unironically I'm unironically, I think everyone should be trained and armed, just like you are trained.
Yes, but that is the key word, trained.
Yeah, it is a part. I agree. It's a massive. I'm talking about restructuring the whole system. Like, you want to get a car, you have to get a license. Oh, you want a motorcycle? Well, you have to get a motorcycle license. Oh, you want to drive a boat? You better get a boat license. Oh, you want a handgun? Get you a handgun license. You want a concealed carry? Get you a concealed carry license. Oh, you want an assault rifle? Get you an assault rifle license. Oh, you want a shotgun? Get you a shotgun license then. You don't get to just go get something because you think it's afforded to you. We're not entitled to anything. You should have to train and prove your competence.
Have you seen the This Is America skits by Sacha Cohen?
Oh, only a few of them. That dude's actually hilarious.
He has one that's called Kindergardians.
Yeah, with that teachers. The kids are packing, dog. No, I don't think kids should be allowed to hold guns, actually. Just like kids shouldn't be allowed to do drugs or drive cars. No. Or vote. They're children. Their brains and bodies aren't developed yet.
$1 billion in taxes every year. Well, undocumented people pay $100 billion in tax. So I know where my anger is against.
There are issues with our tax system on the rich, but in a state like California, some taxes are too high. I used to live here, now I live in Las Vegas.
Different debate.
Okay.
I'm saying immigration is good for America.
Depends on the
People
tax.
like you and me overall are good for America is what I'm saying.
Okay, but it depends on how it's done.
Yes.
It depends on how it's done.
And how it's been done
so
for the U.S.
I'm not blaming the housing crisis on immigrants, not on wages, but in a state like California that doesn't build enough homes and they're bringing immigrants in, you have to increase supply of housing.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
But this is where our anger is at the political class.
I agree.
The Democrat Party used to have a different stance on immigration 15 years ago. Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not here to defend different Democrats. What I will say is
that's our anger.
What I will say is that everyone here actually does think immigration is good for America. Everyone here uses an iPhone designed by an immigrant, is on Gmail designed by an immigrant, is on a YouTube show.
But
you
this
guys
is
all came to a YouTube show.
You're on YouTube.
You wouldn't be
point.
here
But that's
if it
a
wasn't for
tiny
an immigrant.
minority.
So you all love immigrants, whether you like it or not.
Okay, but it is a taboo subject. Should we be concerned about the demographics? So
no.
Anglo-Saxon, European American, 0% of America, it doesn't matter.
Are they 0% of America?
Well, let's say if it becomes...
So I'm interested to know what y'all think about this. I feel like whatever natural selection, as long as it's legal, obviously, you don't kill people.
Right.
Gives you... That's fine. So I don't know, like, why people freak out that their genes are not there anymore, or...
It's because it's part of the white supremacy dog whistle. It's especially white nationalism. Yeah. This argument is how I can say, without saying it out loud, is how I can be like, well, actually, we need to make sure that this place stays predominantly white. That's the whole argument. Anytime they talk about like, oh, the demographic changes or white genocide, what they're saying is we don't want to be replaced. And of course,
so why is this Iranian guy defending this thinking?
Exactly, because he, in his mind, believes he's one of the good ones, quote unquote. But literally, two of the people in there have already told Mehdi, and by proxy, this person, that you're not American.
Yeah.
Because he believes his version of what they're talking about is not the same as these other people. But these other people who are on his side actively are not on his side. These people vote for policies that actively harm them and their family and their livelihood and their families. But their belief system tells them that it's okay. Think about the Latinos for Trump who went up there and were like, we're gonna vote for Donald Trump and we're gonna do that, and then what happens? Their families get deported, and now they want to sue the government. Brother, you voted for this. You propagandaed for this. You went and toured and wrote music about this process, and now you're suffering from it. These people will sit up here and pretend like, oh yeah, no, we support this position. I support this. We should do this. And then they'll get the soft part. They'll get the quiet part, like that first guy. Well, actually, we should keep some part of the North America. You know what I'm saying? If people from Mexico had been here, they've been here forever. They might as well still be Americans, but they're not. But your friend says they're not. So while you're being soft and giving them a place to come in and support you, so it's just their support you crave. This person thinks he's one of the good ones. He's the guy who's the house slave who thinks that the master's actually doing really well with everyone and doesn't beat me. So I don't know why y'all complaining about working in the heat. You're a house slave.
Sorry, I just jumped in. Where are we going to go?
This Iranian
this
guy
guy?
sitting here, I mean, he made some valid points attacking the Democrats. Listen, anytime a conservative attacks Democrats, they're valid because the Democrats are a bunch of feckless cowards, and they can't govern, and they make poor policy decisions. But at the end of the day, they're not Nazis, and so like, it's not fair to be like both sides of this event. I hate when people are like, oh well, both sides
should
of
not
this
work.
event.
They're not
No, they're
white.
not.
You bring weird hypotheticals.
But there has to. But I mean, they're still part of our country. There's culture. There's.
Yeah.
I mean, even Britain. Like,
I mean,
it
America's gone
concerns
through
me.
many
But it
demographic waves,
concerns me when Britain is changing,
Britain
and
is-
it's like
Britain's
they're
been
losing their
changing for
culture.
years.
But it's
Who said
losing
they're
their
losing
culture.
Who
Are
says
they?
so?
Are they going to try to?
I'm
what
from
are
the
they
UK.
gonna-
I'm telling you, no one's losing their culture in the UK.
London is going to be very little British in one
says
day.
so?
What's the plan? That's what we want to know. What's the
You
plan?
just made that up. Have you been
But
to
how
London?
do we
making
know?
up
Cyrus,
stuff
have you been
and
to
then
London?
arguing like, what do we do
Maybe
about
you
it?
shouldn't comment on places you don't know anything about.
But what's the plan?
I grew up in London.
What's
London's
the
a very
general
British
plan?
city. I was in London a few weeks ago.
Okay.
It's a very British
I
city.
hope not. I understand that there are people in this audience
hope
that don't
not.
like
Like, what
me
does that
or
even
you in
mean?
this
Yeah.
country,
Everyone's
and I
deleted
respect
from
that.
there.
There's some that don't even want me to date a blonde woman. They want to keep to their own, or ginger or whatever. I respect that, but
Chick probably
there
just
has to
dumped
be
him
a deal
over
made.
that, and he's
There's
just, like,
Idaho,
still
there's
pissed off
Montana.
at
They
it.
can go live in a homogeneous society. I don't believe in force, okay? And I believe that there has to be a deal made. And I think there's upsides and downsides to
There is a
diversity.
deal made. People have elections. They vote for elections. And right now, there's Donald Trump in the White House. Not someone I support, but people voted for him.
Well, why did he get in mainly? Because we had
That's a big subject.
2016,
Not sure we have time to get into that.
2016,
There's a lot of
Bernie
reasons he got
Sanders.
in.
Okay.
Part of the reason he got in is that people in this room want people like me and you to leave, and they voted for him to try and make that happen.
I'm not surprised. One of the Charlottesville marchers doesn't like me, and I've met those people.
What? This is my question. Who is it? The Charlottesville Marshals?
Oh, the Charlottesville marchers. That's remember. I just said like, oh, they want to replace them. That's like that's the white supremacist dog whistle. It's actually Nazi propaganda, and the line quote, and I quote, is the Jews will not replace us. In Charlottesville in 2016, when Donald Trump was first running for president, there was a riot in Charlotte, or there was a march, a protest in Charlottesville, in Virginia, where these people got a bunch of tiki torches and a bunch of neo-Nazis, and they marched around doing Nazi chants, like Jews will not replace us. And it was literally a neo-Nazi march. And Donald Trump didn't exactly condemn them. He kind of was like, there's good people on both sides of that argument, you know what I'm saying? And people were like, no, there's not. They're Nazis. And so that's what he's talking about. The Charlottesville marchers are literal neo-Nazis who marched and did their Nazi chants. And it was public. It was a big deal because it was 2016. And he's like, yeah, I'm not surprised the Nazis don't like me. And Mehdi's like, yeah, brother, you're in the room with some of them right now. What now?
And I respect their views.
You really shouldn't.
Well, they're
I respect
Don't
you. You
respect
should.
racism.
They're Nazis.
Okay, now this part makes sense because I never understood what they're talking about here. Thank you for explaining.
But look at the guy in the back. He's like, no, this guy's got a good head on his shoulders. He's one of the good ones, quote unquote. That's how a lot of people assimilate. That's how a lot of Hispanic people assimilate to the United States. They view that as the appropriate way to go into a country, is to assimilate to the world views. Unfortunately, that means that they think that they have to be bigots or like xenophobic. But they're the xeno too, because they're immigrants, brother. Like we just made up some borders, and now if you cross them, you're a part of a different group. So now what? Like,
There was this part where the guy said that he was against the deportation of Mahmoud Khalil. I guess most people didn't notice it, and everyone just raised their flags at once the moment he said it.
literally,
Yeah.
yes.
remember that.
Mehdi literally forced him to say. He didn't force him, or he backed him to a corner. And when these dialogue wheel is backed into a corner, guess what you have to do? You have to be real, or be logical, or be human, because that's what you are. And your argument falls apart now because that's not what everyone else is saying. They're not saying real, logical, human things. They're saying hot takes that are going to trigger the libs or sound good in the dialogue wheel.
You're opposed to people being arrested for speech crimes, I assume.
Well, it depends what it is. If it's like the
Oh,
people.
so you're like one of the previous speakers. You don't.
No.
As long as there's someone who agrees with you, you don't mind the crackdown.
No. I support.
Either we consistently support
I
principles,
support
or we
free
don't.
speech 100%.
Okay.
I don't think anyone.
So, do you think Donald Trump is defying the Constitution by cracking down on the First Amendment?
So I think he's cracking down on free speech, like the deportation of Mahmoud Khalil, who was
just released from prison by a judge, saying his First Amendment rights were violated.
And I agree with the judge, and I disagree with Trump deporting them. But
Yeah,
I think
immediately
get him out.
flags up.
it's more a matter of free speech and not the Constitution.
See, So it's fair to assume that they are fine with kicking that American citizen out of the country.
He's a resident, not a citizen. Just to be clear. Yeah,
a resident. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But regardless, but I do another emphasis that's very important. The United States Constitution does not specify citizens; it specifies persons.
Okay.
It's in writing. It's in English. It's there. Anyone can Google it. The United States Constitution does not mention citizens. It does later, but it mentions persons, especially in the 1st through the 9th. It mentions persons and peoples because it's a nation of immigrants. Exactly. The founding fathers immigrated here on boats. All of them. There are no founding fathers born in the U.S.
Oh, I didn't know
Thomas
that.
Jefferson, George Washington. These are British people. What is happening?
Okay, let's wrap up. Is that a final take you want to look at, or?
I really would love for y'all to watch the Sam Cedar. Someone said watching the Sam Cedar surrounded to watching the Mehdi Hasan is like watching someone who's in denial and then someone who's just depressed about
Send
it.
the link, Mike. Send the link.
The stages of depression. Or stages of
Send the link. Send the link. I want to watch it.
Yeah. It's really good. It's on YouTube
Sweet.
too.
Okay. Any final comments?
Mehdi Hasan is awesome.
Mehdi Hasan is the GOAT.
Yeah, he's the GOAT, for real.
Went in there prepared.
I really liked how in the end scenes, maybe we can show them for a bit, but hey, everyone is like, yeah, he's just trying to back us into a corner. Yeah, he's just trying to twist our words. And Mehdi Hasan is like, honestly, I don't even know what these guys are talking about. Like, he was just like so nonchalant about it. He's like, I don't even know, guys, what to say at this point.
You can't argue with these people. You shouldn't try. Anytime you see like these people pop up, no, I'm serious. You can't. We've just proven it. You can't argue with these people. All they want to do is talk about their points. If you're arguing with them, they're setting a stage to perform. It's not in good faith. It can't be. They can't be convinced. Thus, it's impossible to have a good faith argument.
And they're thinking they can convince Mehdi Hasan, like, all this guy's years of experience in debating and all the knowledge that he has. You guys think with your lack of evidence and emotions, all the emotions that you have, you're going to convince him otherwise? Like, they had no chance. They really had no chance.
That's the other part of it, is that they aren't trying to convince him.
Yeah.
They are trying to get their talking points off.
That's very true. They just want their voices heard. They're like, I'm here to talk and I'm going to talk. Just like that dude that we saw. It's like, yeah, well, actually, what was his...
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.